Greetings fellow aviators and DCS World fans. Are you ready to take your flight simulation experience to the next level? In this tutorial we are going to show you how to build your own DIY Bodyshaker for your DCS World sim. Get ready to feel every bump, turbulence and engine vibration as you soar through the virtual skies. Please keep in mind that this Bodyshaker is not only good for flight simulations where I typically use it, this will also work for, in example, racing sims and shooter. You can even use it if you like chilling on your chair, listening to some nice music and feel the full load of bass in your body without getting on your neighbor's nerves. I use it with a mid-price ranged gaming chair. To produce the structure-borne noise, I use two Bodyshaker transducer with 100 watts peak and a small 200 watts amplifier with Bluetooth or aux input and 2-channel output. Of course you need some wires between the amplifier and the transducers. For the console I used an MFD plate in 22mm thickness because of the proper acoustic characteristics. Some nuts and bolts must not be missing. Make sure you find a location at your rig with enough free space. Make a proper construction plan how your console has to be shaped. Find a good fixing point to mount the console to your rig. Transfer the positions of the drilling holes to your plan and do the same for the positions of your transducers. After the plan is ready, we can now start with the construction. Because the transducers need some free space to swing, you must give it to them. I used a cutter, but I think a routing machine would be much better. The last thing to do is to mount the transducers to the console. If you want, you can paint the console, cover it with foil, or like me, just do both. This is completely optional. Mount the amplifier to a position where you can supply it with power and easily handle the knob. Now it's time to mount the console to your sim rig and to reassemble the rig if necessary. Solder some clamps to the transducers and clamp the wires between the transducers and the amplifier. Don't forget the aux cable and the power supply cable for the amplifier. The additional clamps provide the option to disassemble the wires from the transducers. For a first system check I used the software Voice Meter. Start the program and wait until it's ready. Set the hardware out A1 to your primary output source. In my case, that's my headphones. Set the hardware out A2 to the output where you attach the amplifier. Note that the virtual input for this test is the browser where the music will come from. Later this is DCS. Activate A1 and A2 for your virtual input so that the sound is transferred to your hardware outputs. You can change the properties for the hardware outputs if necessary. Now it's time to bring the noise. As you can see, the input is transferred to both hardware outputs. But now there's one problem left. You will have the full audio spectrum in both hardware outputs. That's pretty nice in your headphones, but in your Bodyshaker you just want the lower frequencies. Therefore, we use the equalizer. We build our low-pass filter by cutting out the upper frequencies. Try a bit for yourself what's the best case for you. Enjoy your bass. When using the Bodyshaker for DCS, I'm working with the software SimShaker Sound Module. You can buy it on Andre's shop, I will put a link in the description. You also need the SimShaker for Aviators module, which is free. But first things first, go to your sound settings and make sure that your primary output, in my case the headphones, are set as default. Move on to the SimShaker Sound Module, switch to the Settings tab and set the sound card you're using for your amplifier. You can play around with the rest of the settings so that it works best for you. Next up is the SimShaker for Aviators module, where you also set the output mode to your amplifier sound card. Switch the sound module to the Test tab and press the Test Wide Modus button in the Aviators module. The test sample is running in the sound module. You should also be able to feel the test sample. You can adjust the test volume. Play around with the settings in the special options and in the effect settings. There's no right or wrong. It has to fit your own needs. As you can see, I for example switched off the flaps movement vibrations. They were a bit annoying. And I also set the G-feeling effects to 25, but I'm sure this won't be my final settings. It could be a longer process to find the right settings. For every module in DCS, you can set its own settings. And that's it, you're ready to roll. Start your DCS, hop into the cockpit, and switch on your burners. Or as I said before, play a shooter, watch a movie, or listen to some dubstep. Everything's possible, with some nice bass. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions or feedback, put it into the comment section. And I would really appreciate if you consider to like, subscribe, and ring the notifications. Thanks!